Hello, this is Kalde, and it is now day 4 of the IAE 2952. And of course, that means we are looking at the, in general, overpriced alien ship offerings. Most, of course, are a bit of a mix of replicas and originals, depending on their origins. So, not expecting a whole lot of ships to be on the hull displays, but there will be probably some stuff in the holo displays, I assume. Because that's where most of the alien ships reside right now. Let's take a look, as always, start on quickly, and then we need to go to take a more detailed look. So let's start with the holo display ones. The Gatak Raylan is actually one of the few alien ships right now that has, to be honest, good value. 225 for 320 SU cargo capacity. That's really not bad. That's really not a bad offering. It's a typically a unique ship. Has that it's the Xi'an like star-shaped hull around it. It does carry the cargo in like triangular containers, which is a little bit strange and very, very non-optimal, I would think. But I think gameplay-wise, it's not really going to affect us much of anything. So if you want to look for a more unusual-looking cargo hauler, then the Raylan is a good buy. The Banu Merchantman went up to 650 now, I believe. I mean, that ship is ginormous, and even at 650, to be honest, if that's the kind of role that you want to play, it's fairly unique. I still say that's a decent buy. Then we have the Ayapawa Santok Yai. I mean, honestly, I need to alt-tab and check what the hell that even is. That's an... I don't keep track of all of the ships anymore. The Neo. Oh, that's one of their light fighters. Or heavy fighter, I don't know. But 220 bucks. That seems to be a very, very pricey option. Let's take a quick look at the equipment that it comes with. Yeah, small, 4 size 3 weapons. Yeah. I think that's a bit expensive for what it offers, really. Or is it like the same price point perhaps as the Saber? Let's take a quick gander. Saber H's. It's always just good to keep a bit of a comparison. Like I said, there are getting too many ships that I don't keep track of them all top of my head anymore. And there is that. Let's see. A good old venerable Saber. Yeah, that comes in cheaper. Yeah. Overpriced alien ship then. That's what it's going to be for the Apoa Satok Yai. Whatever the hell you're supposed to pronounce that. And then you have the Nox hoverbike. Well, as I said, ground vehicles, don't buy them. Looking what is on display. Asperia Glaive. Kind of pricey, really. Not that great. Don't really recommend it. Talent series. Too expensive for what they offer. If you want to get one, get at least the gun version, not the missile boat. Prowler has a really, really steep price tag. It has both the dropship tax and the alien tax on top of it. So, yeah, can't really recommend it. Cartual, again, fairly expensive, extremely vulnerable as well, so not a good recommendation. Banu Defender is a bit of a unique one, and some people kind of like it, and the price is, I believe, honestly not horrible. Take a quick gander. Like I said, Defender is a fairly popular at 220. That's actually not a bad buy. So Banu so far have been doing it well when it comes to value, and the Asperia Blade is an absolute no-go. Way too expensive for what it offers you. So let's go ahead and see first what is actually flyable in game. Then we'll go down to the holo displays. Let's start with the Banu Defender. Big bulky ship, heavy sort of fighter, as of course its unique alien interior, which is very much a love it or hate it sort of deal. It's more like organic-y styling. It's definitely not my personal style, but the ship has a fairly decent capability with the loadout that it comes with, and it's known to be reasonably defensible. So overall, for 220 bucks, it's not really a bad ship to buy. And that's kind of nice to have for once when it comes to these alien ships, because a lot of them are just not really priced well for what they offer you in capabilities. That said, the downside of the ship is also that it has a massive footprint. That is something to definitely keep in mind. The good old vulnerable glaive, I mean, this thing is probably due for an upgrade at some point in its model. But yeah, it's just not amazing. You still cannot switch out the weapon, so you're very much locked in with that, because it's like a replica of a Vandal ship. If you want to get a Vandal ship replica, like really, then okay, this is the best value option that's out there, of course, because you have the side, which you can only get on the grey market. Or even the black market. Yeah, it should be grey market, that ship, but yeah, that's not recommended. And the blade, of course, is hilariously overpriced. But honestly, this ship is just not worth it unless you want to have it as a novelty. It doesn't have the capabilities. It's often lacking in firepower, and then it gets overtuned, downtuned. Yeah, really hard to say that you should get that ship. Looking at the talons, I mean, the talons are the talons, and like they look cool. They have some of the features, but they just are too expensive really for what they offer, and they get outmatched a lot when it comes down to into combat roles. Maybe this will change over time. Maybe the new flight model will give them some additional value. But considering they are flight ready, I would not really bother acquiring them right now, because their current state, for when it comes to being a light fighter, there are just much better options out there for a lower price to get. Cartual, I think it's classed like a medium fighter. As I said, it's very, very vulnerable because of all those exposed engines. Also, of course, a relatively unique flight model, but it lacks again in firepower. And it's just expensive as again, and it's the problem with these alien ships. It's really what it comes down to is they are expensive and they're often lacking in capability, and this is just another example. So my recommendation is absolutely to avoid them unless you want to have it because it is more of a vanity style ship. The blade, I mean, it's stupidly priced. Like, absolutely ridiculously priced. I don't know what they were thinking. Like, I get that they want to have an alien tax. And I think this was like their newest, like, only available Vandal ship in their new Vandal styling. They thought they can just get a whole lot of money from it, and they probably could. But do your wallet a favor and don't buy this ship. If you want to have a light fighter, again, there's much better options out there. And then, of course, our little Prowler dropship. I mean, it looks amazing, not lying about it. It has a very, like, you know, unique stance and, you know, overall shape to it. But again, it is so gosh darn expensive for what it does. Because in the end, it is just a dropship. And that means it is really not worth it. It is too expensive. You can get like a whole Valkyrie for the same price, which as a dropship has a lot more capabilities than this ship has. So yeah, if you really want it because it looks unique, again, you're going to be paying for more of the vanity styling. But if you're looking for the capabilities, then this is not going to be your ship. As far as what sort of player size, you know, organization you would need for these ships, well, the Bounty Defender is easily doable as a 1 or 2 person ship. The fighters, of course, are all 1 person ships. I don't think you will find them very useful in organization environments, because, you know, you like to have more of a set sort of structure in your organization fleet, so you know what kind of ships, what kind of speed, what capabilities they have, so you're not dealing with a whole mix and match. And because they're just so much more expensive, of course, to lose as well. The dropship, like, okay, if you're gonna need a dropship, you're gonna be looking at a medium-sized orc and up probably, unless you have a small orc that's really dedicated to ground warfare. And you want to have your own insertion options. Then you're looking at dropships. As a solo player, of course, there's no point in having a dropship. That's simply the end of the story. Is like, this is a ship designed to take a whole bunch of other people to a place and drop them out there so they can go pew pew on the ground. Now let's go downstairs and take a look at the holo models. It's me a short day because not that many ships around today. Well, that's good, like they balance it out. And I think it's also fine. We don't need too many of the alien ships for the moment. I said the bikes here, like of all the hover bikes, these are my favorites, but again, just get them in game. Really, they're just too expensive. I think I had one, but I used it because of the LTI, so I used it as an LTI token. This was our little fighter here. Yeah, too expensive for what it offers. Also, another problem that these ships have is like they have a really, really large frontal profile, which means that they're really easy to hit when you are actually engaging. Like the Saber has an issue where people say like, yeah, it's, you know, top or down profile is really large, but when you're actually engaging, it is fairly narrow. And that is important because the smaller your ship is, the smaller of a target it is, the harder it is to get hits on it. These ships will be hit all the damn time, and that just means their survivability is going to be even lower. So yeah, not recommended. Again, if you want it, it's pretty much a I want something special ship. There was yet the Bio Defender, of course. I mean, sorry, Defender, Merchantman. This thing is just growing and growing, and they are putting in a hell of a lot of work into this ship. Like, they know it's a very popular ship with the community. A lot of people want this, so they want to do it justice, and I do think they are going to do it justice. It does come in at the steep price point. It gets more expensive every single time we get an option to buy it. So if you want to have this ship at $650, it is getting on the pricier side for what it offers, I think. But I still think it fits within the price bracket that it does, and I would not be surprised that by the time that this ship is actually flight ready and ready to launch, you're going to probably be looking at a price point of $800 to $900 or even slightly over $900. Because it is a very large ship with a unique capability, and it is an alien ship, so it's gonna have a steep price tag. If you have one of these from the original concepts and stuff like that, hold on to them. By all means, hold on to them. Even if you don't want to use them yourself, you can probably sell them on in the first for a really hefty profit. And then the Raylan, the cargo ship. Of the whole entire alien ship line that's out there, this is really the one ship that I would recommend the most if you want to be having a cargo hauler. It just looks unique, it has a good capacity. It does have the downside of these triangular containers. We'll have to see if that's going to be actually an issue when it comes to transporting cargo in universe. That's something we just don't know yet. Or alternatively, they may just decide to make it easy and just change them over to square boxes at some point. Which would of course affect the look of the ship a little bit, but that's going to be about it. I mean, the main competition of a ship like this is going to be the Hull series and then the smaller ones of those. But yeah, it's just really at $220, it's not bad value. It offers a good amount of cargo capacity. So if you're looking for something that is just unique when it comes to cargo hauling, you want something that is not a human ship, this is definitely a good option. And right now it comes in at a good price. No doubt it will go up in price once they get more advanced into the concept stages, or especially when it gets to be flight ready. So yeah, that was Alien Week. In its entirety, not Alien Week, Alien Day. Gosh, I'm going on a roll today. Jeez, forgive me for that. Sorry. Yeah, well, Alien Day. Not that many ships, of course. They're just, well, not that many out of there. We'll probably see more of these over time, especially once they get more comfortable in making them. Then, of course, they want to expand them. They may not all have, of course, be for players to be using, because some of these alien ships, they are sold to humans and have been redesigned to accommodate humans. Some of these alien ships in their normal configurations would just not be usable by humans, so that's something to keep in mind. Anyhow, that's it. I hope it helps you make some informed buying decisions again on the ships on offer. And I thank you very much for watching, and we'll see each other again tomorrow.